Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review and little like get ready with me sort of makeup tutorial on a palette that I have been using recently called called Scandalous number 740 by Marc Jacobs. You can purchase this palette at Sephora. That's exactly where I got mine. And I got this palette a while back and I just haven't had the chance to use it. And I decided that although we are in January, it's still super cold here where I live in Orlando, and it is muggy, it's raining, it still feels very much like winter time. And so since I have been wearing my sweaters and my plaids all month long, I have been okay with pulling out this fall palette. As you can see, I've already hit pan on 2 colors, and I'm just gonna do a close-up on this for you. And the colors on here would be Hot Pants, At the Office, Cause a Fuss, That's Why, They Call Her, which is this one, Little Miss, and Scandalous. I'm sorry, not Scandalous. Scandalous is that red shade. The palette is called Scandalust. Little play on words there. Obviously, that red shade is my most used shade. I really love it, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first thing I want to let you know is for my foundation, I am wearing the Chanel Ultra Le Tint Velvet, and I am color B30. I used the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder to set my foundation. I primed my eyelids with the Chanel primer. And for bronzer, I used my Chanel Le Beige's Healthy Glow Sheer Powder in number 30. I'm almost out of this guy, but still going strong. I went in with my favorite blush, my favorite Chanel blush in Golden Sun, which is number 280. And as a highlight, I used my Camellia de Chanel Illuminating Powder. This highlighter came out Black Friday of last year, I believe. No, I'm sorry, not last year, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And I picked this up because number one, love the packaging. And that camellia flower really got me. However, this highlight I really only use like during the holidays, you know, October, November, December. I've pushed it into January just because I'm still sticking to just fall looks in general because the weather's so muggy and like gloomy here in the month of January. Now, let's get started. I feel like I'm rambling on. So the first color I'm going to use is gonna be At the Office, which is this matte shade right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply that all over my lid. So, I don't know how many of you watch the Netflix series You, but I just want you to know that I binge watched season 2 on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That's all I have to say. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, please do. It's actually a book with a sequel. So if you haven't read the book, I haven't read the book, but I heard the book is really good. The books always tend to be way better than, you know, the movies or the shows. Kind of like Sharp Objects. The book was amazing. I did read that book, and it's an HBO series, so but this Netflix show You is absolutely awesome. All right, so once you've applied that color all over the lid, I'm gonna go in using this transition color here, which is a shimmery shade, and this is called Cause a Fuss. And I'm gonna be using, oh, I didn't even tell you what brush I use to apply my base shade. It's my Bare Minerals Shade and Diffuse Eye Brush. Really quick, let me just do a close-up. Love this brush. I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm gonna use this for all my crease shades. Anyways, back to the show. It's so awesome. I like it because it's a psychological thriller. Really keeps you guessing. It's got the right amount of, I would say, murder, you know, without it being overly like gory, you know. I feel like it's not too much. Like, I don't feel stressed after watching the show, if that makes sense. So once I've applied that transition shade to both eyes, I'm gonna go in with the red shade in the palette, and this is in Scandalous, and this is a matte shade, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that as my crease color. Now these two shades, the red one and this shimmery one, have a lot of kick up. These shadows are like butter though, and they blend so well. And a little bit goes a long way because this red color is bright. Anyway, so the story has a really good plot. It really makes you think about your social media presence and, you know, pretty much like what you share in your life and how much more aware we need to be, especially as adults, you know, because our lives get really busy and we become really distracted with just so many things: work, errands, responsibilities, paying bills. Like, I get it, you know. An adult life is really hectic and really busy, and I feel like that's how we lose track of just like awareness, you know. And it just basically, this show is about a stalker who is also a murderer. So awesome. Okay, then I'm gonna go in to give that a little bit of depth. I'm gonna go in with the deepest shade in this palette, and this one's called Little Miss, and this is also a matte shade, but you don't get a lot of kick up with this one. So I'm just gonna get just a little bit of that color. Anyway, the actors that they chose for this show are really good. They all have done an amazing job. So kudos to them. But yeah, I was born and raised in Miami, so by nature, I'm a very paranoid individual. You know, it's a city that I love. Obviously, is my hometown, but you know, it's a high crime area, and you really gotta be careful. So, yeah, I have passwords on everything. My house has cameras. You know, I'm like that. But with the way that the world, I don't know. It's just things. I don't know about you, but things keep getting worse every day when it, you know, comes to just crime and technology, you know. So you kind of got to be aware of like the things that you share, be a little bit more careful, a little bit more aware of your surroundings. But yeah, so that's what I did. I went ahead and, sorry, I'm like switching back and forth in the conversation. I hope you guys can keep up, but I've just used that shade to deepen up the crease, and I dragged it like all over my crease and just stopped right there on each eye. Then I'm gonna go in with that same brush I used to apply the base color, and I'm just gonna soften up the edges, sort of blend things around. And I'm gonna go ahead and start from the inner part of the eye and just on the brow bone. And do the same on the other side. So this is just a really quick little technique that I do that works for me. Is I always go in with the same exact brush I used to put on the base, and it softens everything up, and I just kind of clean everything and make it, you know, look blended. It's kind of without having to go in with a separate, you know, clean brush. You can just multitask. It's one less brush you have to carry around. All right, next I'm gonna go in with a clean fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of any fallout that I may have had, which I really didn't have much. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Chanel Intense Eye Pencil in Clear. This is number 69, and I'm gonna do my waterline. All right, now I know this is gonna sound strange to some of you, but now that I've finished season 2 of You, I've never watched Dexter. And so many people have told me that if I like the show You, I'm gonna love Dexter. However, I heard the ending is absolutely horrible and people were really upset. I remember hearing about that on the radio and on the news of how upset people were with the ending of that show. So my question to you is, if you watched Dexter, is it worth investing in 7 or 8 seasons? I think it's like 7 or 8 seasons in total, to have like such a bad ending, or is it bearable? Let me know in the comments below, because I don't want to get started on a show that's I'm gonna invest in emotionally and mentally and then be really pissed at the end, like I was with Jane the Virgin. Yeah, I love Jane the Virgin. It was an amazing show, but the moment that they killed Michael and he lost his memory and things weren't the same between him and Jane, killed it for me. Totally killed it for me. I was totally Team Michael. But okay, I digress. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Dose of Color eyeliner in New Flame. This is a new eyeliner that I picked up because I was really, like, I was running. I know I had said that I was running out of eyeliners, but when I actually pulled this palette out, at the bottom of my collection drawer, I found this eyeliner and I was like, perfect combination. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and just line the top of my eyes. I always need to use my big mirror. And I'm gonna line the whole thing, okay? This is a very bright, like, red scarlet shade. This Dose of Color eyeliner glides like a dream. Very pigmented. You don't have to tug on the eye. It does a really good job at giving you an even application. Well, yeah, I've never watched Dexter, and now I'm really considering it because I really like the show You, and I'm not gonna lie, it's hard having to wait for season 3. I mean, I heard that they're working on a 3rd book, but I don't really know how true that rumor is. So if you know more about that, you can leave a comment below. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Gimme Brow and number 4 and give a little life to my eyebrows. Anyways, what shows are you guys currently watching on Netflix? would love to know. Oh, I also watch, I don't know if it's on Amazon TV, but I also watch The Neighborhood. So I really like comedy shows, and Last Man Standing, Will and Grace, I lost track of because I don't have, like, I wasn't pre-recording it, so I'm just gonna have to buy the new seasons. I mean, I own all of the Will and Grace seasons, so I just need to buy the last couple seasons that have come out to add to my collection. But yeah, I love Will and Grace. I love comedy shows, really do. Surprisingly enough, I know, and don't crucify me for what I'm about to say, I didn't like Friends. Really wasn't my cup of tea. I know all of you are probably, you're probably unsubscribing right now, but yeah, I really don't. It wasn't my thing. I really didn't like it. So yeah, really like The Neighborhood. Makes me laugh so hard. Really like The New Girl. That's a show I truly enjoy. What other shows am I currently watching? There's another one. Did I say The Last Man Standing? Yeah, I did. I'm watching The Last Man Standing. There's another one. Oh, somebody else recommended the show Elliot, I think it's called. If you guys have watched that one, let me know if you really recommend it, if it's really good too, because I'll add that to my watch list. I didn't tell you, but I'm going in with my Chanel mascara in 10 Noir. This is Le Volume de Chanel. I'm just gonna put a coat of mascara on my lashes. Well, yeah, that's the shows that I've been watching. I really get invested in shows, and when, you know, they really have a bad ending, I am that person that's angry for a week. I get really angry. I mean, I don't go as far as sending like hate mail to the company, but if mentally I could, I would. So yeah. Bones is another really good show that I watched. That is also super good. But yeah, anyways, I'm applying just a quick layer of mascara here. I love this Chanel mascara. I have so many samples of this that I probably won't need to buy mascara for the rest of the year of 2020. Because I have that many samples. And the samples give you a good amount. They last me a solid like month and a half, maybe 2. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now for lips, I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals Gen Nude Liquid Lipstick in XYZ. If you guys haven't tried these liquid lipsticks by Bare Minerals, I really recommend them. They are so good. Okay, I'm gonna use a tip to line the lip. There you go. Now these are not completely color transfer. Like, they don't dry down all the way is what I'm trying to say. You do get a little bit of color transfer, but they don't dry out your lips, which is pretty good. Which is what we all hate about liquid lipstick, right? Is that crustiness. And the whole Gen Nude line is so good. All right, so that completes this look. And let's get into swatches, and then I will come back and give you my overall thoughts of the palette.
All right, so let's get into the swatches. So the first shade here is called Hot Pants. This is a satin shimmery shade. You can use this as a highlight color or a base color. The next color is the one that I applied all over my lids. This is a matte shade, and this one's called At the Office. It's a beautiful, like, very nude mauve. And then the next shade here is one of the very sparkly shades, and this one's called Cause a Fuss. This is really, really pretty all over the lid or as a transition color. And then here's another matte shade, and this one is called That's Why. This is a really, really, really pretty, like, very nude, very everyday crease color. And then we have another very, very sparkly shade here, and this one's called They Call Her. The next shade here is another matte shade, and this one is called Little Miss. This is the deepest shade in the palette. It is a deep chocolate brown with some red undertones. And then the last and my most favorite shade here is called Scandalous. And this, although is a matte shade, it does have some gold, very fine milled shimmer in it. You can't really pick it up on the camera, but if you look close at the palette and you kind of shine it in the sun, you can see those gold shimmers shining through. So these are the finger swatches of this palette.
Okay, so my overall thoughts of the Marc Jacobs palette. This is the first Marc Jacobs palette I ever purchased and I've ever used. This palette is amazing. I really love the way the shadows work. They are literally all like butter, like butter. They blend so well. They work really well with each other, especially when you're layering color on top of color. It's just such an amazing formula. They are pricey, but if you kind of want to treat yourself and splurge on something that you know is guaranteed, you're guaranteed to love, this right here. I really love this palette. It's just perfect for fall, and I feel like these shades right here, like this shade over here combined with like these two shades here, would really transition you from fall to spring, if you know what I mean. Like there's like that period where it's not quite spring but it's not quite winter, if you know what I mean. So I feel like those colors can really help you like transition into that season. On the back you have a list of all the colors and just like ingredients and stuff like that. The palette is super, super slim, super sleek. The packaging is gorgeous, doesn't take up any room in your makeup bag. It's just super cute, something new to try in 2020. If you haven't tried any of the Marc Jacob palettes, I really recommend it. Like I said, I bought mine from Sephora, and it's just, they have a ton of these, but this is the one that caught my attention. As you guys know, you know, anything with red, dark copper colors, I'm all over it, you know. But yeah, I think it's amazing. And if you guys like this look, it's super easy to achieve with this palette. And yeah, those are my overall thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a nice weekend. Bye.